It's a hot one. Okay. So, first thing I'm going to do is start a ritual. And this is a native ritual that I learned and practice. It could be done for different things. It could be done for quitting smoking. It could be done for relationship success. I'm doing it tonight, and this is the first part of the ritual where I'm gonna face to the north. Okay, so I'm in my living room at the postal location for Life Food Certified. That's the brand that I was honored to be granted privilege to by Dr. David Jubb. He told me I could run with the name Life Food Certified. That was after completing my chef training and medicine training. So through his program with Life Food, nutritional fasting, and liver and gallbladder flushing and organ cleansing, including the intestines, and basically any condition we can help somebody heal. What I want to do is turn this building into a health center. This very room will be the dining room / meeting place. So around this pole, I'll get a circular table eventually. First I got to get customers. So there's different ways that I can promote this place as a meeting center. I got a sign out front and newspaper ads, flyers. Let's see, what else? Anyway, the ritual I'm gonna do is for Dino Trax. So facing north, this is the first part of the ritual. Facing north, I say, this ritual, which way is north? This is north. Set the camera up here. Excuse me. 1 second. Put this over. Clean this place up. Okay, so I face north, and I say, this ritual is for success and market viability of Dino Trax as a commercial food product. That Dino Trax will become a viable product and commercially successful as a health food snack, bread substitute, cracker, whatever you want to call it. Dino Trax. So this ritual is for Dino Trax. Haven't eaten since yesterday. Okay, that's the first direction. Is declaration. I was thinking about it this morning that my first and only entrance attire was a black judo gi that I cut the sleeves off, and I had a pentagram on the back. Amazing how these symbols come to us. I was raised Catholic. I didn't know what this symbol meant. And it could mean anything. It's all about what you use it for. It's like a knife. You could use it to make healthy food. You know? So it was a blue circle with the star, you know, pentagram. And at that point, I don't really remember, but I think I just thought of it as good luck. But the way I interpret it now, because I was thinking of it this morning, how I'm actually going to face north again at the end. And so it's 5 directions, even though the one direction is twice. So it's north, next one's going to be to the east, then the south, then the west, then north again. So that's 5. So I thought of the 5-pointed star. And I said, to me, the 5-pointed star and the pentagram, it represents man, because the star is the shape of a man, right? The head, the 2 arms, and the 2 legs. So it represents my energy, my effort. To be in the pentagram is to work towards my goal, to fulfill my destiny, to manifest my potential through effort, through energy, you know, focusing my energy in the pentagram. It's not satanic. I don't do any blood rituals. I do light candles once in a while, but you know, I don't call on any dark spirits. I believe that God is inside. And everywhere. The ether. You tap into that. And that's just what I'm doing with this ceremony, or the ritual, whatever you want to call it. Okay? Now, Project Blue Agate is a top secret government program to make Master Luki a worldwide digital celebrity. So I get these stories texted to me to talk about. All right, let's go. I'm in the New York area, so we'll use the New York Post. Sex strike. Abstinence trends on Twitter in wake of Roe versus Wade ruling. June 25th. Here's a couple days over. Hashtag sex strike. Well, if you're new to the channel, to my channel, I promote tantric sex and semen retention. I have sex with my girlfriend, and I do not ejaculate. I can orgasm, but I do not ejaculate. And I'm able to have sex for as long as I want, as long as she wants. And the times when I have in the past, not recently, but in the past, I've accidentally ejaculated. And lately, I haven't. because the muscle that holds has gotten stronger over the years. So up until I learned about tantric sex when I was maybe less than 10 years ago, always had not problems, but it was normal. You know, most guys, when they have sex, they want to get the first ejaculation out of the way because then they'll be able to last longer. But the penis doesn't ever get as hard as it was on the first round. And not only that, but you know, I masturbated, and I did abstain from sex completely when training for fights because I knew that ejaculating would make me weaker. And I knew that from experience and also from, you know, passed down wisdom from ancient masters and boxers. And I was a kung fu practitioner before I was a mixed martial artist. So the Chinese have the concept of semen retention. I'm not sure what they call it, but you could look up a guy named Mantak Chia. I'll just pull him up right now, so you can look it up. Mantak Chia. Chia. Mantak Chia. What is Taoist inner alchemy? I don't want to watch this because I might get my channel, my video demonetized, which it's not demonetized, right? It's not monetized now, but every minute that you're watching gets me closer to monetization. So Taoist inner alchemy. He's going to talk about what I'm saying. The best natural sex hormone for men. Okay, testicular and ovarian breathing. See, some of these are long. Let me see something real quick. This is 5 years ago. I'm gonna open this in a new tab for later. The best natural sex hormone for men. Let me put the video on me, so maybe we'll just listen to the audio.
Inner alchemy practice. And after 50 years of teaching, writing, researching, I have so many books all talk about the inner alchemy practice. And this summer, we start with a basic alchemy. So we start with the inner, opening the orbit and the inner smile and the seeking sound. That is the basic of inner alchemy practice. And when you finish the basic, we go into the fusion. So we divide fusion into 3 levels, or fusion 1, fusion 2, fusion 3. Fusion is that in the Tao state, we have 5 major organs, like the heart is fire, and the spleen is the earth, lung is the metal, kidney is water, liver is wood. So there are 5 major organs. If you do a creating cycle every day, they work as a team. But they also have a counteract cycle. Like the heart fire can burn the metal, the lung, hurt the lung. The fire can melt the metal, the lung. Now, and metal can cut the wood. That's the liver. Wood element, if you have, it can controlling the earth. That is the spleen. And the spleen can control the water, and that's the kidney.
I tell you, he's got a lot of congestion in his gut. I can see that through his shirt. Big belly, big intestines, and that's from rice and all the junk Chinese ingredients. As much as they know about energy, they don't know about life food. And he's got bags under his eyes. Not that I should talk, but I can. I can say what I want.
So these 5 elements, they are whole alchemical practice. And when
Probably eats meat too.
you understand these elements practice, always make sure you make a creating cycle every day. Smiling to all creating cycle. Let them work as a team. In the alchemy, we call how to change from inside. In the Tao ways, we say that every organ have different negative and positive emotional. Usually negative, you don't need to do anything. We always have emotional. But positive in the Tao way, we say we need to do some practice. So in the basic training, we have the inner smile. So you learn how to smile inwardly, and you eventually very easy to get rid of the negative that inside our body. In the Tao, we believe that negative emotional and positive emotional is coexisting in our organ. For example, the heart, if you are developing the love, joy, happiness, the hatred, impatience, you have no way to get rid of it. But you can balancing it and you control them not come up over. When we have too much over negative emotional, over the positive one, now we get big trouble. We get trouble. Okay? So you have to always start with the love, joy, happiness, shining and radiant out. Dissolve different emotional in the body. Okay, for example, the heart is hatred, impatience, the spleen is worry, anxiety, lung is discouraging. Okay.
Okay. That's enough. I definitely want to read watch
I make the chair.
the best natural sex hormone for men.
You can look back in YouTube and or Facebook in the Mentek Chair.
All right, watch that later or tomorrow. Big Apple abortion protesters were in support of a sex strike Sunday as abstinence started trending on Twitter in the wake of the Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe v. Wade. If you're a man who won't get a vasectomy, even though it's reversible, and you're not out in the streets fighting for my rights, you do not deserve to have sex with me. Brianna Campbell, a 24-year-old EMT. Well, just do semen retention or wear a condom. Don't use abortion as birth control. It's not healthy. You have abortion, you automatically increase your rate of cancer. Hold on. Let me just make sure I'm accurate. Abortion raises risk of cancer. All right, let's see. Anytime we're gonna go past year. Research clearly shows abortion is not linked to an increased risk of breast cancer. Okay? Some case control studies have suggested abortion may increase the risk of breast cancer. However, the design of case control studies makes the accuracy of their results questionable. Case control studies rely on the reporting of past behavior. When it comes to a sensitive subject like abortion, this can have a big impact on the information gathered. The cases in these studies, the women with breast cancer, may be much more likely to give complete information about their abortion history than the controls, the women without breast cancer. Such differences in reporting bias study results. So they're saying the women with breast cancer are saying whether they had abortion or not more than the women without breast cancer? That doesn't make sense. I think this is bullshit. They're saying maybe. Prospective cohort studies are much more likely to give accurate results on topics such as abortion. These studies gather sensitive information before women are diagnosed with breast cancer. This helps limit biased reporting. Large prospective cohort studies show women who have an abortion do not have an increased risk of breast cancer. Okay. That's just breast cancer. Can't be healthy. Come on. You're dealing with hormones here. Here we go. I ain't getting no vasectomy though. Oh, really? Can I? No. Really? Alright. Fucking New York Post bullshit. Who is gonna give me... How about Lad Bible? Okay. As the world reels from the Supreme Court's abortion ruling to repeal Roe v. Wade, some furious women have planned the ultimate payback for men. No sex at all. At a New York protest, paramedic Breonna Campbell revealed she would not be having sex with any men who had not had a vasectomy. If you're a man who won't get a vasectomy, even though it's reversible, and you're not out in the streets for my rights, you do not deserve to have sex with me. Okay, now hold on. A vasectomy... If you have your vasectomy reversed within 3 years, you have a 25% chance of not getting your sperm back. That's not long. 55% up to 8 years. So that means you got a 50-50 chance after 8 years. And then less than a 50... hair in my mouth. Less than a 50-50 chance after 9 years, and from 15 to 20 years, you have only a 30% chance of you getting your sperm back. Wow. That's crazy. No thanks. I'll just hold it in, man. I don't need to be a slave to my my desires. Marilyn, Free Wendy. Let's see this person here. Wow. Too skinny. Abuse, rape survivor. Bipolar. Okay, that's from grains. Bipolar is from grains and sugar and things like that. Vegan, so she probably eats a lot of grains and beans. Okay, 3 hours ago. God works in mysterious ways. Turns out I'm pregnant. I attended a couple of orgies earlier this month, so not shocked. Can't wait to abort this little fetus. Ew, look at this weirdo. The overruling of Roe vs. Wade banned my favorite snack. Ew. Ew. That's gross. Well, I'm not vegan, so we're not on the same team. Because the Supreme Court of the United States overturned Roe vs. Wade, we cannot take the risk of an unintended pregnancy. Therefore, we will not have sex with any man, including our husbands, until we are trying to become pregnant. Hey, what's up, Rick? Yeah, I got diagnosed with it. Schizoaffective. Yeah. What is schizo anyway? Let's see. It's exacerbated by grains too. Let's see. Schizoaffective disorder. Schizoaffective disorder is a mental health condition that involves symptoms of schizophrenia and a mood disorder like major depressive disorder or bipolar disorder. In fact, many people with schizophrenia are incorrectly diagnosed at first with depression or bipolar disorder. What's a schizoaffective disorder? Maybe psychotic symptoms such as hallucinations or delusions, as well as symptoms of a mood disorder. And sometimes depression. Alright. Well, I don't hallucinate. Maybe I do hallucinate. I don't know. I think that God speaks to me through, I think that God is in everyone and everything. Here's the way I see it. God is everywhere. God is in me. God is in you. God is in everything. God connects everything. It's in the ether. It's like 0-point energy. Great Spirit is the native term. So God's everywhere at all times. When I hear somebody speaking on the phone, that's God speaking. When I hear somebody speaking on the phone to somebody else through the phone, that's God speaking to me. I'm supposed to hear that message. And maybe that's schizo, that I'm listening to conversations and I'm interpreting that as a message to me. Not exactly word for word, but what does that message mean to me? And I interpret that. So that could be schizophrenia. It could be the truth. If you go to a psychiatrist, and I don't know that God is a belief that a psychiatrist has. They might not believe in God. I also believe that the government is involved in the military through mind control and at the top levels of the government and the military and the Illuminati, there's a meeting place where they have all this science, how to influence people's thinking and control people's thinking, and they feel like they're doing God's work by controlling people's thoughts and actions. So, for example, this morning I happened to wake up at like 2 or 3, and so I started doing things on my phone, and I got a text from Project Blue Agate at 4 a.m. Doesn't usually happen, but I thought to myself, well, they must know that I'm up. Whatever reason, either they're hacked into my phone or they use remote viewing, and they knew I was up. So, yeah. I mean, I don't hurt anybody. I just believe what I believe. I believe that I'm on a mission from God, and that mission is to create Master Luki's League of Champions as a safe alternative and transition from head contact MMA with finishes to no head contact and points for action instead of damage, and then use that notoriety, publicity, and fame and money to create Master Luki brand health food and market that to, through my league to kids and families, and then have this as an option, because I'm just leading by example. I'm not like, I don't expect to change people's minds, but I might be able to pull them with me. So I'm leading from the front type of deal. All right, that makes sense. How come I can't? There we go. Cognitive distortion called personalizing, but definitely some truth. I wouldn't be tuning into what you speak to us I wouldn't be tuning in if what you were saying was false. Okay, appreciate that, Rick. Appreciate that. Let's go back to these non-sex having babes. Carolyn Healy also told the Post, Master Bo, let me know when you want me to come down to Jamaica Boxing Club, bro. I don't have visitation this Saturday, so I could do it. I was going to go to a grappling gym, but let me know when, what's a good time or whatever. Carolyn Healy also told the Post, we're talking about women going on a sex strike on Twitter after the Roe v. Wade decision. The ruling indicates that a man's sex life is more important than women's rights. I think it's absolutely valid for us to be withholding the holy grail that men seem to think is important. Well, that's the only way that we're going to survive as a species, if we make healthy babies. So you want to call it the holy grail? That might be accurate. Why shouldn't we withhold it if we're always worried that they're not going to put a condom on, or that they're going to take it off midway through without consent? Really? That's your worry? What do you call it when women, or I shouldn't say women, but in this case it's women, it could be anybody, they kind of like make up a scenario that is totally unlikely and illogical, and they use that to like prove their point. You understand what I'm saying? Like, she created this scenario in her mind that she's worried that the guy she's gonna have sex with is not gonna put a condom on. Apparently she's gonna let him have sex with her anyway. She can't say, oh, you have to have a condom, or he's going to take it off midway through without consent. Really? Listen, I know what sex with a condom feels like compared to sex without a condom, and girls do too. You can tell if there's a condom on or not. She's making up a scenario to try to prove her point, and it's not logical, and it's made up. I don't know what there's a term for that in logic, like when you have a discussion with somebody, you have these logical terms. I don't know though. I'm just a stupid fighter. The 22-year-old added, "If we can't safely go out and have sex and know that we will have a choice after that, then why should we be expected to? You're not expected to. But why are you using abortion as birth control? That's like after the fact. You got to be preventative. Don't have sex unless you're in a relationship and you trust somebody. How about that one?" Rape survivor Maya Demry lashed out at the U.S. Supreme Court ruling. "If this world thinks that they can oppress women forever, then we close our legs," she said to the Post. But they aren't the only women swearing off sex to prevent the Supreme Court from policing their wombs and bodies. Anne Blood Rose. "If I have no right to my body, men have no right to it either." Let's see this person here. Okay, so she can't take insults. She's just gonna block everyone. Let's see here. Oh, she doesn't have an actual picture either, which means she's not confident in the way she looks. Wonder why. The hashtag sex strike took off over the weekend following Friday's ruling to strike down Roe v. Wade. The reporters that abstinence was trending on Twitter with more than almost 27,000 tweets on Saturday alone. One Twitter user said, "If I have no right to my body, men have no right to it either." Nobody has a right to your body regardless. That's where you're wrong. You don't have to say this part, "If I have no right to my body." You can just say, nobody has a right to my body except me. Unless I grant you the right. How about that? Another comment, "My legs are closed," alongside a call out circulating online urging women to join the sex strike. A third added, "I think it's high time women all over the world go on a sex strike. Enough is enough. And why haven't we discovered a way, technology, to fully prevent a male from raping a female?" I don't know what they mean by that. But how am I gonna end this section off? I'll just say that I'm in full support of abstinence as an alternative birth control to abortion. I'm in full support of this hashtag sex strike and hashtag abstinence. Let's promote abstinence and cut back on the need for abortions. I think that's a smart choice, and I applaud you. Keep them legs closed. Yeah, there's apparently a new BAM story, Rick. I'll get into it in a little bit. The next direction I'm going to face is to the east. So, here's my music studio. I'm going to order new strings for my acoustic guitar and bass guitar. I messed up stringing them, so I need new ones. But I don't want to pay shipping, so I gotta wait till I get $25 worth of stuff to order from Amazon. This way I don't have to pay shipping. The strings are only like $6. Anyway, the east direction. I can't really play. I just, I try. I wouldn't say that I can play, Rick. I wouldn't say that I can do much of anything musically. I'm learning GarageBand. I did my first song on GarageBand. Yeah. I just kind of do the basics. And this keyboard, I have 3 keyboards here. The biggest one, it has like drums on it, so I kind of use that sometimes to just get the feel of where my song's gonna go and stuff. Okay, so now to the east on this Dino scale ceremony. To the east basically is this way. And what I say is, actually I gotta turn the camera from over here. This angle here. Okay, the east direction is something like, just as the sun rises, excuse me, I have prune juice. Just as the sun rises, this is a cosmic occurrence. The sun's going to rise in the morning. A meteor or a comet may come from far away. This intention of Dino Trax is not just happening now. This is from the furthest reaches of the universe. It may not be here, the success may not be here yet, but this is something that's coming. And it's not from me, it's coming through me. This is my destiny. Dino Trax, Dino Trax. Mm. Oh yeah, you know that's gonna happen, Rick. I'm definitely gonna make a Dino Trax commercial with scream rap. And the Dino is gonna be doing the scream rap. Hell yeah. The song I'm working on, I can't show you the preview because it's actually, the GarageBand app is on the phone that I'm using to stream. The next song I'm writing is a kind of like a remake of the Tupac song Ambitions. So he goes, my ambitions as a writer, and mine is my ambitions as a rapper. But come up with something cool for Dino Trax. I got a dino head, half a dino head, and a construction hat. Rudy Giuliani, oh man, assaulted in Staten Island. Sheesh, my man needs to walk around with a headgear. Controversial. What's he controversial about? Former New York City Mayor Rudolph Giuliani Oh man, my stomach is gurgling. That prune juice is gonna kick in. Was assaulted by a ShopRite worker Sunday while campaigning for his son's gubernatorial bid in the city's Staten Island borough. Wow, is this the kid that was at the Yankee game as a kid? It can't be. I mean, it probably was 20 years ago now, so maybe. The 78-year-old Giuliani was slammed in the back by an unidentified ShopRite worker. Man, I wonder if he lost his job, huh? Slammed in the back. Dude, you could hurt somebody like that. Remember the UFC guy that Jeremy Stevens pushed and he freaking snapped his neck so hard he couldn't fight? According to New York Post. The assault reportedly left him shaken. Yeah, you can get a freaking brain injury from whiplash. Especially if you don't expect it. I was stunned. Eyewitness Rita Rogova Johnson told the Post after the attack at the supermarket. I was shoulder to shoulder with Rudy inside ShopRite, she said. We're talking, and all of a sudden an employee came out of nowhere and open-handedly slapped him in the back and said, "Hey, what's up, scumbag?" Oh, jeez. The worker was arrested at the store. His charges and identity were not immediately available. You know, you could have just said scumbag without slapping him, you dumbass. Now you got booked for assault. Giuliani was campaigning for his son, Andrew Giuliani, who is in a Republican primary race for governor. Look at these politic families. Let me see this guy. This can't be the same kid. Let me see. Yankee game. Whoop. Oh my God. It's Chris Farley. You gotta be kidding me.
Please raise your right hand.
At first, it seemed a heartwarming example of father-son bonding. 7-year-old Andrew taking the oath as New York City mayor, along with his father, Rudolph Giuliani.
That I will support the Constitution of the United States.
But when Mayor Giuliani went to the podium, so did Andrew.
I'm going to have a co-addressee, I guess. Andrew.
And soon he was upstaging his father's no-nonsense message.
Of the centrality of God to our city. And New York City will again be the capital of the world.
It should be so, and it will be.
All of you have the same ingenuity, the same sensitivity, the same talent, the same courage that our ancestors had. A stronger and a healthier city. It should be so, and it will be so. Thank you.
Wow. Sheesh, he was ready back then. A former attorney and advisor for President Donald Trump, Giuliani caused a stir earlier this year when he was unmasked as an exiting costumed contestant in season 7 episode of Fox popular primetime series The Masked Singer. Judges Ken Jeong and Robin Thicke left the stage in protest of Giuliani's appearance when his identity was revealed. Weak. I'm gonna lead the stage in protests. Shut up! Giuliani was also subject to ridicule for his unwitting appearance in the 2020 film Borat subsequent movie film. He was lured into a hotel room on the pretext of an interview by a conservative news outlet. The uncomfortable confrontation with actress Maria Bakalova appears to be heading toward a sexual encounter. but ends with Borat running into the room and shouting, "She's 15, she's too old for you." That's it. That's the story. Okay. Did you see that, Rick? I saw Borat, subsequent movie film. It was okay. It wasn't as funny as the first one, I don't think. Okay, so let's see. Now, put the camera back over here. Now we're going to go south. South is a good one. In the south direction, get a big one for this. In the south direction, I say, what's the reason? The reason, I gotta be honest up front, it's a selfish reason. Everything I do is to get my kids back. It changed me when I held my son for the first time and I looked in his eyes. I saw my eyes. I saw my eyes. It wasn't another person. It was actually me looking back at me. And I love my two boys, my two sons, more than I've ever loved anyone. It was the most traumatic experience in my life. It still is. To this day, it haunts me, and I have PTSD, and I just can't think of anything else all day, every day, other than getting my kids back. And when I say getting them back, I mean supporting them and providing for them the way that I was able to with UFC money. So that was all their food made by me. When they woke up in the morning, I was there. When they went to bed at night, I was there. All day long, we were together. The bestest of friends. We had adventures. Life was perfect. And now life is hell. And so that's my selfish reason, is to become successful, that I can get above and beyond UFC money, so that I can provide for their mother, that I don't want to take them away from her like she did to me. I want to support her financially so she can quit her job and homeschool them, not get rid of her, but to keep her in their life, have a house with 2 wings. So she definitely doesn't want me back. She's got a new man, but kind of make her an offer she can't refuse, where everything will be taken care of. All she has to do is be their mom and allow me to be their father. And I'm pretty sure she's smart enough to accept that. So that's my selfish reason, is to get my kids back. It's not that I'm ambitious, that I want to be successful for ambition's sake. I'm really on a mission from God. I believe that the reason why I'm depressed, besides the situation that I'm in with my kids, besides having symptoms of mild traumatic brain injury from head contact coming up and in MMA, I believe that I have depression and anxiety from the menu that I was raised on, which was heavy with grains and dairy and beans and starches. Not a lot of meat, because my dad raised me as vegetarian. I did start eating meat in my early to mid-teens, and then continued to eat meat into my 20s. when I rediscovered, health, and then I started to eat clean, and then I met Dr. Jubb, and then went back to, I went into life food, but, life food is vegetarian. There's no animal products except for honey. So it technically falls under the category of vegetarian. Although it's way more strict than vegan and even raw vegan. So I want to make this product, Dino Trax, as a healthy goldfish cracker. As far as I can recall, goldfish was the first thing that was given to my son that he got addicted to that really pissed me off. And it was either my mom or my wife who gave it to him. And he just loved it because, the excitotoxic flavor enhancers, the wheat and the dairy, the gluten and the casein are xenomorphins, meaning they attach to receptor sites in the brain, which are supposed to be for the feel-good hormone, endorphins. They're basically a weak form of heroin, 40 times weaker, but it lasts over 3 days. So he got addicted to that, and I started way back then, while I was still married and living in the same house, even though we weren't, we were fighting. I started way back then to come up with this concept of a healthy goldfish cracker. I think at that time I was calling them golden turtles, and I had like a little mold. The Dino comes in from the Dino scales, which was the activated pumpkin seed recipe that Dr. Jubb taught me, and my son Max, he still loves dinosaurs. We saw Jurassic Park together the other day. Jurassic Park Dominion. Jurassic World Dominion. Good movie. So the Dino Trax is for my sons, and it's for everybody, that they can have a healthy alternative to goldfish, to club crackers, to flatbread, and this can be, used for many different purposes depending on the recipe that you want to make. Open-faced sandwich, closed sandwich, spread something on it like a cracker, dip it in soup, have it with a salad, eat it by itself. And there's a graham cracker version too. So this is the savory cheese flavor, and there's going to be a graham cracker flavor too. So long story short, reason why is for the health of the children. Dino Trax, Dino Trax. Dino Trax. Dino Trax. Dino Trax. All right, Rick. Got you. Sir Doyle is going to be my first regular customer, so we're going to have Dino Trax on tap, I'll let you know when we got the next batch up. I didn't make another batch this week because I knew I was going to be fasting. I didn't want to be tempted. But I'm going to make some more. Make some more this week. The Duck Sauce Killer. Let's see here. Alright, now these, I think these websites are going to ask for some type of membership. So let's try. Let's try Yahoo. Wait, hold on a second. What is this? Duck Sauce Killer. Accused duck sauce killer of Chinese delivery man released on bail in Queens. You know, Chinese food's got that MSG, man. Man got triggered by these chemicals. Guaranteed. A judge in Queens granted $500,000 bail Monday for accused duck sauce killer Glenn Hirsch as he awaits trial on charges he fatally shot a Chinese food delivery man over a bizarre months-long beef over insufficient condiment packets. Wow. Hirsch, 51, had faced a long stint awaiting trial on Rikers Island until he posted the hefty bail. Queens Criminal Court Judge Kenneth Holder granted Hirsch's release into home confinement following a hearing in Queens Supreme Court. Hirsch's brother posted the bail with a certified check, but the $500,000 came from Hirsch himself, his lawyer Michael Horn said. Holder ordered the city sheriff's department fit Hirsch with an electronic bracelet. He has to stay in his home 24 hours a day, except for visits to his lawyer, doctor, court, and 1 hour per day of exercise. Apparently, there are enough people around you who just hate you that I'm sure they're going to take a picture of you if they see you in an area where you should not be and send it to the court, the judge said, warning Hirsch to comply with the strict terms of his release. Authorities say that Hirsch became enraged on November 30th that he did not receive enough duck sauce with his take-home order from the Great Wall restaurant in Forest Hills. His frustration allegedly exploded on April 30th when he shot and killed Jiwen Yan, 45, a well-liked delivery man for the restaurant. Hirsch, who was arrested on June 2nd, has pleaded not guilty. Man, don't shoot the messenger. Hello? Detectives said that Hirsch had been stalking Yan and other staff at the restaurant on Queens Boulevard for weeks before the shooting. Prosecutors described his demand for duck sauce as an obsessive point of contention. Hirsch drove around the block where the restaurant is located several times on the night of the murder. When Yan left the restaurant on his scooter to make a delivery, Hirsch allegedly followed and then shot him in the street. In a bizarre twist, police searching Hirsch's 141st Street apartment in Jamaica found that his refrigerator was full of duck sauce and other condiment packets. He's a hoarder, a police source previously told the Daily News. The judge ordered Hirsch to stay away from the Great Wall restaurant, the eatery's delivery zone, and the entire area encompassing the crime scene. Hirsch is barred from leaving the city and going within a mile of airports, Grand Central Station, Pennsylvania Station, or any PATH train. He also can't buy any guns. Prosecutor Karen Ross said Hirsch had agreed to DNA testing after 2 of the 8 guns found in the home of Hirsch's ex-wife had genetic material on them. 7 members of the New York State Court Special Response Team surrounded the accused killer as he appeared in court, one of them holding each arm. Hirsch's lawyer said that after the hearing, he was pleased with the outcome and insisted his client is not guilty of Jan's murder. I'm happy with the way things worked. I thought the judge made a nice compromise about public safety versus the rights of an individual not convicted of a crime, Horn said. Our position is that he's not the guy who did this, that person is still out there, and we're going to try and find that person as much as anybody else. Horn said he had not yet seen the full video surveillance from the scene. We've gotten a video compilation, which is sort of a cut and paste job, but we don't have the 1,000 hours of cars going back and forth up and down the streets, he said. Because we did a DMV search, there are about 126,900 similar vehicles on the road registered in New York City. Wow. No comments. Well, the way I see it, according to my training, is that you have the brain and the gut. It's the primary brain. The brain that we have downstairs controls the brain upstairs. The proof of that is there's more nerve endings around the intestine than there is in the spinal cord. You got to think about that. There's more nerve endings, so there's more connection of the body to the intestine than there is from the body to the brain up here. This is the brain. This is the primary brain. So somebody who's eating Chinese food, and Chinese food, there's not much healthy that you can get from a Chinese restaurant in America. I would say maybe steamed broccoli. But rice is not a food. All the meat, all the flavor enhancers in the sauces. What else do they got? They got rice. They use wheat for the wraps. If you get something like mushu wraps, you know, the fried spring rolls or egg rolls. Not much healthy, and basically nothing healthy that you can get. So this guy is not healthy, and the body does what it can to survive. The reason why people get cellulite and tumors is because the evacuatory system is not working. So what happens is the liver gets backed up because of all the garbage that people eat. There's also environmental toxins, but we're talking about the things that you can control. You can't control everything out in the world. You can control what goes in your mouth. So the liver gets blocked up, and therefore you have a very reduced capacity to deal with metabolic waste. So you're supposed to have basically a tap, which is the liver's production of bile. The bile is stored in the bile bladder or the gallbladder. At between 2 and 3 p.m., the liver releases, the bile bladder opens up, and you have a major force to help empty the bowel. Inside bile, you have alkaline salts, you have everything that has been filtered out of the blood by the liver. And that's the major force that's supposed to cause peristalsis. It's not just material that you ate and the intestines feel that, you know, and it's like pushing it along. You have a chemical cause of peristalsis, and that's bile. So when the liver is all blocked up, and you don't have any bile flow, the food is remaining way too long. It's starting to break down, breaking down into microorganisms, bacteria, mold, fungus. Those organisms have their own metabolic waste because they're living. They eat, they poop, and all that acid waste can't just sit there in the intestine. You'll freaking melt. So what does the body do in its infinite capacity for healing and wisdom? It puts that acid in fat cells. And that's how you get cellulite. That's how you get tumors. And that is why people are hoarders. Because they're encapsulating. And they don't have any capacity to evacuate. As above, so below. What is going on inside the body manifests itself in your life. You get what I'm saying? The person who's a hoarder, they have tumors. They have pockets of congestion in their intestine. And in the brain, you have these pockets of corrupted thinking. And I think that's where these dark thoughts were, what's the word? Simmering. Or maybe simmering is not the word. These dark thoughts were what do you do? What does coffee do? Not boil. It's on the tip of my tongue. It's not simmer. Percolate. Maybe percolate's not the right word either. But anyway, yeah. So he's got these pockets in his brain where it's just like, oh, and it happens to me too because, I go to the gym and people just leave a mess. Inflammatory psoriasis, yeah, that's let's see. That's a global. That's called the Global Fat Challenge. You got a Global Fat Challenge from cooked fats and not enough healthy bacteria. The major thing that you have to avoid is starch. Okay. This kid's coming by to get mushrooms. I bought him some mushrooms. He's gonna pay me back. Okay, 25 minutes, no problem. I paid. Well, the menu, the dealer's menu said 250 for an ounce. So I told this kid 300. I'm gonna make $50 because it's risky for me. But then the dealer said it's a lot of shake, so just give me 170. So I don't know, should I still charge the kid 300 or should I drop it to 270? I don't want to drop it lower to like 250. I might be like, yeah, it's like, cause I don't know, what's the difference? Fucking shake is shake, it's still mushroom. It's still an ounce, it's still mushrooms. I'll tell him, look, I got it at a discount because it's a lot of shake. Just give me 270. Save him $30 and I'll still make 100. I'm actually making 100 instead of 50. So, yeah, you gotta stay away from starch there, Rick. And you definitely got to do some flushing, man. Get your microbiota back. Got to get that healthy bacteria back. All right, the duck sauce killer. You're done. I'm not going to go over the story about the wife. Okay, so what are we up to? We did south. Now, this is the easy one. This is west, which is this way. So I'll bring the camera over here. West is easy. It's just basically, yeah, no starch, bro. That's gonna burn up your vitamins and minerals, because you gotta do something with that acid. 13, and you can put castor oil on the psoriasis. And if you want to do a little experiment, don't have any starch for 3 days, and then have some and you see how it starts to itch. Okay, so the fizzy is going to help too. The West is, how does it feel? So just as in the East, we said that this is coming. Just as the sun rises, just as a comet, a meteor comes from far away. This intention, this mission, this energy is coming. It's coming through me. Now, projecting into the future, how do I feel that this is done? How do I feel that Dino Trax is actually in the stores, and this whole place is a factory for Dino Trax, and people are coming to eat here, have fresh food prepared for them, and they take some Dino Trax to go home, and the whole place is like stocked with Dino Trax, and we're sending out shipments and bringing them to stores, and the basements for storage. We got people upstairs who are living here and healing themselves, and I moved to the top floor, and I got 2 beds there for my kids, and I got every other weekend visitation, and things are good with their mom, and they can come over whenever they want. But how does it feel? I mean, let me just put myself in that place. I'm successful. I'm successful, and I'm doing something that's worthwhile. It's satisfying something I have inside me that, as a child, I wanted to be a hero. I watched G.I. Joe. When I was a little older, I watched Bruce Lee. Heroes, superheroes, martial arts heroes. Oof, that prune juice. That prune juice, though. Oof. And, what can I say? It feels good, man. Nothing, food is just pleasure of the flesh. Achievement is something that satisfies my soul. And there's nothing that feels as good as success, as achievement, as fulfilling my potential and my destiny. That, a child is always looking for approval from their parents. That I want my dad to be proud of me. That I want to feel like I've fulfilled my mission, that I've completed my mission, or, am completing my mission. It's the best feeling in the world. Dino Trax, Dino Trax. Eat those Dino Trax. Dino Trax, yeah. Purpose, that's another good one. Imagine I get Bam Margera staying in my upstairs apartment, and we get this haggard old bastard on life food, off of junk food, looking haggard, bro. Fat neck. Bam's been located, and he's going to check into a new treatment facility. What's the date on this? 6/27. Okay, so this was yesterday. Bam's camp tells TMZ. Bam was found Monday at a hotel in Deerfield Beach, Florida. We're told police showed up along with the crisis intervention team, which included Bam's mother and father. Oh, wow, they're still alive. God bless, Phil. I'm actually surprised. His camp says they held an intervention on the spot, with other members of Bam's family calling in to speak to him. Bam's camp says Bam insisted on seeing his son, and he was told he needed to get treatment before being able to see his kid. So I guess he relapsed. We're told Bam voluntarily agreed to check into a new rehab facility, and he's currently en route. The Broward Sheriff's Office confirmed deputies from Deerfield Beach made contact with Bam on Monday night, and he was found safe. Bam Margera is worried he'll never see his son again if he stays in rehab, and that's why he bailed. But his wife is pleading for him to check himself back in. A rep for Nicole Boyd Margera tells TMZ she's hoping Bam can get the help he needs by returning to the Florida Rehab Center, where he's been undergoing treatment this year. Oof. Dude. Get a grip. That's her? Dang, she put on weight too. Is that her though? Let me see if she got a Instagram. Okay, these are old pics. Happy Father's Day, Pop Pop. Real Phil Margera. She got a cute face. No recent pics though. It must be tough, man. You go from a party lifestyle, you know, your body starts to you know, not be able to keep the weight off. $2019. All right. Anyway. Nikki and their 4-year-old son, Phoenix, I thought his name was Wolf. Is that somebody else? Are in full support of the Jackass star finishing his program. She has no clue where he is, and she's worried sick about his safety. Bam's camp tells us he left the Life Skills residential facility again because he was worried he'd never see Phoenix again. He's afraid he'll never get the chance to prove he's a good dad if he's in rehab. Yeah, this is, these fat upper arms are lymph. You got to be careful because that's precursor to breast cancer. That the body doesn't have ability to clean itself. The lymph is very important. And that's where women put weight on, is their upper arms, their saddlebags. She's going bald here in the stomach area and the heart. This is indicative of the stomach and the heart for women, and that's from meat and animal products. He's also going bald in the same area, and also his intestines. The left and the right side is the intestines. Nikki claims she's been nothing but supportive of Bam, even moving from California to Florida to be closer to him, but she thinks she's being unfairly blamed for his exit. She's still remaining supportive and is praying Bam can return to rehab and get the help he desperately needs. Well, Bam Margera, I will say this, man. Food is the first addiction. It's the first addiction we ever were, given by our parents. And it's because it's the first one, it's the hardest one to kick. I'll tell you that from experience. The hardest thing I've ever had to do is kick the food addiction. But I used natural means to do it. I used weed, I used mushrooms, and a lot of coffee, and tea, and honey. But I did it. I'm fasting now. I'm about to have my last Dino Trax. For a while, I'm going to fast for a couple of weeks. Just starting with liquid and then moving to water. Maybe I'll even get to dry fasting. I'm not putting I'm not putting a limit on what I'm going to be able to do. So don't put a limit on your healing, man. Get off the drugs. I'll help you. I'll help you get off the food, man. You can get off the food, you can get off the drugs. If you can get off the hardest thing, you can get off all the easier shit. Drugs is easy compared to food. A lot of people get off drugs. Who gets off food, though? That's rare. I'm not saying you have to start out fasting. What I'm saying is you have to quit the addictive non-food items like wheat, like dairy, like meat, like starch. Okay, the meat and the starch are like cocaine. The grains and the dairy are like heroin, the way that they act in the body. And we have alternatives to wean you off. Like if somebody was on straight heroin, we put them on kratom, or kratom, however you fucking say it, okay? If somebody was on, alcohol, put them on kombucha, you put them on weed. If somebody's on Xanax, you put them on weed. And we can do it, man. You can do it. Bam. Open invite. Anybody else watching? Open invite. This is the spot. Life Food Certified. This place right here, the Gathering Center, this room. Upstairs, there's a one-bedroom apartment. You can come stay for as long as you need to, until you heal yourself. I got a sign out front. I'm gonna put a free health coach, health coach free consult. I found it in front of CVS. What the heck? Did I flip the camera? My bad. There's the health food store right there, Rob and Raj. I'm gonna do some Dino Trax demonstrations and some events. I'm gonna make it happen, okay? The last Dino track, I faced north again, and I basically just say it is done. And that's gonna be the end of the stream. As always, go to masterluki.com. For any other questions, just click on where it says about. You got all my contact info there. Social media, even my cell phone. Oh yeah. Fucking Dino Trax. Rick, thanks for being a part of the stream. Everybody else, thanks for watching. Master Luki, over and out.